Hello, Kehilat Darchei Tzion. We're Erev Chag HaShavuot, Chag Matan Torah, and Chag HaShavuot is on Friday, Erev Shabbat, so we can discuss two haftarot, Haftarat Shavuot and Haftarat Naso. I think we'll discuss both of them. We'll try to connect a certain aspect that they both have. Haftarat Shavuot is from Yechezkel, Perek Aleph, describes the revelation that Yechezkel sees, what Chazal call Ma'aseh Merkava, where you see seemingly the divine chariot, where you see all the angels around and whatever that means, the kind of animals they resemble and the shapes and the colors. It's a very powerful revelation. In Parashat Naso, we read in Perek Yud Gimel of Sefer Shoftim, we read about the angel reveals himself to Manoach and, of course, to Manoach's wife first, and tells them that they are going to have a son, Shimshon, and what he has to do, what his mother has to do, what he will have to do throughout his life. And when you look at these two haftarot, they seemingly have no connection. And really, maybe they don't, but I think there's something that we can find a common denominator between both haftarot. And I want to start with the haftarah of Shavuot. When we read about the divine chariot, what are Chazal telling us by choosing to be the haftarah of Chag Matan Torah? And I think there are two major points that we can learn from just the choice of this haftarah. Number one, Matan Torah wasn't just giving us laws. We receive the Torah and now we have to follow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, the major aspect of Matan Torah was the spiritual revelation that Hashem revealed himself to a nation, that Hashem spoke to Am Yisrael. Am Yisrael stood in Har Sinai, that event, that exciting, maybe scary event of Am Yisrael standing in Har Sinai, trembling there with fear and awe, but also this joy of receiving the Torah, of having this bond and covenant with Hashem. That is the great story of Ma'amad Har Sinai. That's number one. They're telling us don't only treat this as a day of receiving laws, but as a day of revelation. Second aspect is, what is the story of the Merkava, of the chariot? The story is, at least according to the way Rav Medan and other commentators explain it, the divine chariot. Seemingly there's Shechina in Yerushalayim, and things are now starting to move. Am Yisrael have sinned, and there is a preparation for the Churban, for the destruction of Beit HaMikdash. And seemingly, the divine chariot is leaving Yerushalayim. The Shechina is leaving Yerushalayim. So we don't read that exactly in the Haftarah, but we see all the preparation. Things aren't quiet. Things are moving. They're getting ready for the chariot to move, as if the king is fastening his horses to his chariot and he's about to leave his main city. And that is the story of the Haftarah. We know that the Mikdash, according to the Ramban, is a continuation of Ma'amad Har Sinai. And the Haftarah is telling us, yes, we received this revelation, Ma'amad Har Sinai. The Torah is there for us to stick. But this bond and connection to Hashem, on the one hand, we believe can be eternal, but we shouldn't take it for granted. Hashem can leave Yerushalayim. There can be a destruction. We have this great revelation in Ma'amad Har Sinai, and we chas v'shalom can receive the opposite. When the temple is destroyed, when Shechina leaves Yerushalayim. Rav Medan points out that at the end of the Haftarah, Yechezkel sees the sight of a rainbow. And the rainbow, when there's destruction, comes to say, yes, there is destruction. We shouldn't take it for granted. Things can change, chas v'shalom, but there's a rainbow. At the end, there's going to be Shuvah, there's going to be Geulah. That's how things are going to end. There is a rainbow. There is hope for fixing what has been ruined. And I said I wanted to connect this to the story of Shimshon's parents. Also, they had a revelation. Also, they received laws, but also they had a revelation. Just like Am Yisrael in Ma'amad Har Sinai. The laws were very important. That's what went with Shimshon throughout his life. But Shimshon's parents understood the greatness of this moment of a revelation, It wasn't just a prophecy given to them. They saw an angel. Shimshon's father is struck with awe. He says, what's going to happen to us after we saw this? And his wife says, if Hashem showed this to us, there's a purpose, there's a meaning, and there's something for us to live for. The purpose of the revelation isn't just for that moment, but rather the revelation is there to give us purpose and meaning for the life afterwards, just like in Matan Torah. Chag Sameach, and afterwards, Shabbat Shalom.